The tens of thousands of Subway stores around the world are operated by franchisees, entrepreneurs who have joined a tried and true system in order to market a brand. But what does it really take to become a franchisee?
I've seen franchisees come on board that were accountants, architects, bankers, very sophisticated business people. At the same time, I've seen folks that were working on the railroad or doing, just about any job that you can think of. Our franchisees have come from a wide range of people. Why? Because it's a simple operation, very easy to figure out, and very easy to manage.
So what's the first step to becoming a franchisee?
Our development agents work within their communities to find franchise owners, and they'll sit down and interview people, get a sense as to what their degree of involvement is going to be in the business, maybe their business background. Not that there has to be food service background, but just some kind of knowledge of business in general and some kind of desire to be a hands-on entrepreneur.
Going forward requires a number of signed agreements.
The fundamental agreement is the franchise agreement, and that kind of covers the relationship between the franchisee and the franchisor and their understanding of what they're required to do.
Once a location is leased and a store is under construction, the next vital step for the franchisee is getting very familiar with the operations manual.
I've been in this business quite a long time, and it's the best operations manual I've ever seen because it leaves very little to question or to be indecisive about. Whether it's building the Subway restaurant, whether it's making the sandwich for the customer, whether it's what kind of uniforms you need to wear. You really know what it is you should be doing at any given time about just about anything having to do with a Subway restaurant.
Let's meet the franchisees, the most important component.
I started back in 1988. I bought my first franchise, and I looked at the concept and I saw the ease of operations. There were no fryers, no grills, nothing, none of the messy stuff.
We started with one store 35 years ago where John and I were partners, and I worked as an accountant, and during the day John ran the store, and then we would share night shifts and weekend shifts.
We're looking for a job and saw an ad in the paper for help wanted for assistant manager back in 1988. Just over a year later, I ended up buying the store that I started working at.
I started off at Subway when I was 15 years old. It was an accident. And I got a job because somebody helped me get a job. So they said, hey, you want to work at a Subway, one of the relatives. Went to work, as a matter of fact, both of us worked together at that store. It's supposed to be a part-time gig. Went through college and at age of 21 became franchisee, officially part of the Subway organization.
After owning and managing that very first store, many of Subway's entrepreneurs set their sights on bigger growth opportunities.
I bought my original store from a guy who was involved with Subway, had been involved for about 5 years before me. And that store, little did I know, was the lowest volume store in the market. When I went to my first owners meeting, him and his buddy said, hey, Lollipop. And I said, why are they calling me Lollipop? And they said, well, we needed a sucker to buy Columbus, which was the Subway, right? Out of 91 stores in the market, it was 91st. So I got out in the community, got involved, sales volume started going up. Suddenly the store that was doing 3,000 a week's now doing 4, then 5, then 6, and about 18 months later, I bought my next franchise, and 2 years after that, I bought 3 more.
Troubleshooting is critical to any entrepreneur's success, and franchisees get plenty of practice as they grow.
Even though we have 470 stores, our biggest thing we've really focused on the last couple of years is to train your employees to take charge in the system. Not just training them on how to make sandwiches, training them how to greet the customers, how to clean the restaurant, but actually empowering the employee to actually be able to do the job of running the business by themselves.
As franchisees grow, it takes more organization and a bigger staff to help them, but they're by no means alone. On every level, the Subway system provides support.
In the operations department, we've kind of divided responsibilities between operations services, which is really franchisees, and the staff that they have in their stores. And then we have field operations, which would handle support for DAs, field consultants.
There's some basic fundamentals to making the business successful. Sales and profits go together. And if the stores are profitable, then franchisees stay in business, they want to build additional stores, other people want to join the system, and the company will grow.